Hello friends, my name is Molly. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I cannot believe it's already been 6 months since I started a no-buy year. Time flies by so fast. And of course, it's my duty as the YouTube channel that this is to report how it's been going. Some of the things that I liked, some of the things I didn't like so much. And maybe by the end of this video you can see if this is something that suits you, if this is something that you want to try out and challenge yourself with. So what is a no-buy year? No-buy year is a self-imposed challenge where you basically don't buy anything non-essential for the whole year. Yes. That's right. People start this challenge for a multitude of reasons, like practicing more of a minimalistic lifestyle, saving money, decluttering, using up what you already have, developing healthier consumption habits, reducing waste, and just in general developing more of a mindful approach to spending. For me, for example, my main reason was to address my unhealthy consumption habits. Right before my birthday, I felt this wave of questioning all of my life choices. And of course, this was a good time to stumble upon a video of Cynthia Dubois. I saw her video in the airport when I was flying from Taiwan back to Canada. You can see the vlog from Taiwan on my channel. And this video really convinced me to start a no-buy year, and I decided that this is going to be a good time to start it. I just in general wanted to use up things that I have and give them the usage that they deserve and take my focus out of spending and looking for something to want. As well as just in general, I've been interested in minimalistic lifestyle for a while, and this is something that I eventually want to practice more and more. So these were my reasons to start the challenge. What would be yours? Because everyone has an individual one, and that's the beauty of this challenge. It is very malleable to what you want to address. It was very hard to confront these problems that I have with consumption and just shopping. I was avoiding the idea of a no-buy year, even though it was on my feed, because I watch a lot of minimalist content. I think in the capitalism, it's pretty normal for majority of us to have little blind spots with our shopping habits and just in general how we treat what we have. It's a good idea to question it, even though it might be hard because it's hard to admit that you do have certain downfalls when it comes to practicing consumption. I definitely know it was hard for me for a while to look at it as at a problem or something that I could confront a little bit more. So I decided I wanted to do it. There's just a few things that you want to cover before starting this challenge. One of them is set your why. Why do you want to do this challenge? What exactly do you want to achieve with it? I felt like this challenge was a good opportunity to learn what is essential in my life. I also hope to get to know who I am without consumption, without wanting, without sales or trends. Of course, my other goal was to use up as many things as I could. I was also excited to discover my style more, because it's one thing to constantly feel like you're gonna look better with new outfits, but it's another thing to just have your wardrobe that you have already, use that to express yourself. And one of the main goals were breaking the pattern of this chronic shopping need. I wanted to practice my values, strengthen my power. This is something that I am very passionate about. Those are my goals that I developed. They keep inspiring me when I look back at them to continue to stick to the challenge. You can write out what would you like to explore with this challenge and what would you like to get out of it. And of course, I think what is very important to keep yourself on track is to set your own rules. And that's also the beauty of this challenge. You can set your own rules that fit your lifestyle, that work with you. Of course, things that I don't want to buy were things like clothing, shoes, hair, body care. Nothing new when it comes to that. I didn't want to buy any physical books, any subscriptions, new art supplies, or hobby crafts stuff. But there's also some things that I left myself space for, what I can spend money on. And those were things like my health, if there's any treatments or any things that I need for my health. This is something that is non-negotiable for me. Gifts for other people, absolutely yes. Replacing maybe skincare items that I run out of, that I got my use out of, that's okay for me. If there's a unique learning opportunity, I was open to spending on it. And just in general experiences that are important to me. This is something that I didn't want to put a no on. If I decide to spend money on it, it's probably pretty important to me, so I won't deny myself that. And this list of rules helps with that accountability, where you determine things you spend and you don't spend on, and there's not much wiggle room for your weaker moments to come through. So after you establish the rules, you want to also review your inventory, understand what you have and have it visible so you can use it and also not feel like you need to buy something that you already have. Another thing that I personally think really helps you to start this challenge right is to establish a support network. Maybe you are going to tell a few people that you're doing this challenge for them to keep you accountable, or maybe you can do it with someone, your friend or your family member, and support each other through the way. Like in my case, for example, I don't really have anyone in my life like that, so I strongly rely on the community online where lots of people are sharing their experience with No by Year, and that motivates me greatly, and that makes me feel not lonely in it. Choose your community because it really helps you to feel strong, motivated, supported throughout the year. A year is a long time, so you want to make sure you set yourself up in a strong, powerful way where you know what you want, you know how you want to do it, you know your rules. So it's been 6 months, and I'm not going to lie, I felt a little bit more stuck for majority of time because I didn't decide to cancel my email. I still was receiving all of the things that are on sale. I want to develop my willpower, not just isolate myself from the retail world. So I wasn't buying anything, but I was still browsing. I was still looking at things. And I decided not to fight it. If I want to look at things, that's fine. And I wanted to be a little more gentle about it. And it is getting really rewarding because I've been engaging still in this kind of browsing behavior for the first few months. But now that the 6 month mark approached, I've noticed I do that way less. It stopped being part of my habit at some point very slowly and gradually. This grip of need to look for things is loosening and I feel a little bit more free. Towards these 6 months, I've been not really browsing much. And if there's something that pops up in my head that I want that seems very exciting, I just put it on my wish list. I have a wish list, and once it's there, it feels like I already have it in a way, or that I can look at it when I want to buy something in the future, or just in general, I'm just pretty satisfied to just put it on the wish list and move on. What was very shocking to me is that I slowly start to feel how actually overwhelming it is to have so many things. So it was very paradoxical for me to not buy things, but still feeling like I have more and more and more. And a very interesting observation from trying to use the things that I have was to witness my previous purchasing decisions, question very actively what was going on in my mind when I was buying them. Was this really something that was necessary, or was this really something that serves me, or do I serve it just to make it work? Practicing this no by ear attitude and paying attention to the things that I have, I am developing much more awareness of what is actually authentic to me and what was my habit of purchasing. And this really helps me to hopefully make better decisions in the future. So just in general, I feel very abundant right now. I really do have enough. I had that feeling before starting this challenge. I don't need anything, but right now I feel it with my core. I feel that abundance, that I genuinely have so much. All of those things are so useful and I have too much now. Practicing that detachment from shopping and from wanting and from looking for what to want, that space got taken up by the practice of life satisfaction, where I just bathe in the presence of what I already have. And I feel like it starts maybe with your belongings, but also I feel like it spreads into your lifestyle and your life in general. That kind of satisfaction practice really reflects on to everything, your relationships, where you are. And I feel like this No by Year challenge was a great push for me to practice that contentment virtue. But of course, this is not all beauty and ease and enlightenment with this challenge. There's obviously some hiccups, some things that I wasn't necessarily happy about. One of the obvious things that are hard is the temptations. There's going to be temptations, there's lots of things happening. And this is, I think, a great obstacle because this is where you exercise your willpower. And it's been getting easier, definitely, 100%. Lots of temptations, but also lots of situations that you kind of need to spend or sort of make exceptions. And that's very easy to get angry at yourself for or feel like you failed the challenge. For me, for example, there were a couple situations this half a year where I had to spend for non-essential things. For example, I went to Russia in February and my aunt saw the state of my shoes, my winter shoes, and she insisted on giving me money to go shopping for shoes. I felt very uneasy about it because, you know, I'm doing a no buy year. I got the shoes. It was a very cool gift because those are the shoes I wear all the time. And the second thing that I felt like I had to make exception for was a kombucha jar. So my colleague gave me this SCOBY out of nowhere and I actually wanted to try doing kombucha for a while, but I didn't have a big enough container, so I had to go to a thrift store and find the jar for it. Actually, there was a perfect one with a little nozzle. How perfect is it? So I definitely got the dopamine hit from looking for that jar, so that's why I think it was kind of cheating. But you know, what am I gonna do? Let the SCOBY die? So yeah, it's brewing currently. Wish me luck. It's meant to be. Those were probably only 2 cheating moments that I could have been really hard on myself for, and I was for a little bit, but it's important to give yourself space to make exceptions if it really needs to be. Not to make your life way harder because of this challenge, even though it's supposed to be hard. Hard to an extent. It's reasonable hard. So I think in general the challenges come from the habit of you're used to shopping, you're used to purchasing things once in a while, and this outlet is gone. There's this space that needs to be occupied. This discomfort that comes from not being able to exercise this habit will be eventually filled in with all of those benefits that this challenge brings. Like actually exploring yourself, having more time for the things you're passionate about, using up the things that you already have. I feel like it could be hard at first, and I feel like this challenge could be a little bit alienating because you don't participate in that kind of consumption culture as much. I do feel like I'm doing something that, you know, not everyone will understand, and I don't try to explain it to everyone, but I still like go out with people who want to shop. I help them. I actually love shopping for other people. Yeah, the no buy year can be a little bit alienating, but I feel like these obstacles are what cultivates that strength, resilience, and awareness in you. I personally welcome these things that make me feel uncomfortable, because that's the goal, to feel not exactly comfortable, but come out of it stronger. I've been actually surprisingly feeling quite liberated through this challenge. I don't need to spend, I don't need to want. Like, I gave myself permission to relax, and that is actually so precious and freeing. That's just the first half a year. I'm very excited to see where it goes. I'm very curious if this is something that you would be interested in, or maybe you tried before and you want to try again. Let me know your thoughts. As always, I love to chat with you in the comments. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share with you. You guys are my besties. I can be myself, and that's honestly one of the most precious things that money can't buy. Thank you so much for your support. I am so excited to talk to you in the comments. I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.